job description. Up until this time, group leaders and really section leaders and group leaders up until this time have really only been responsible for notes and words. And it's just, that's all we've asked anyone to do, is just grade notes and words. But we felt that as we got better, that the better the chorus began to sound, and the more talent that we started to build within the ranks of the musical leadership team, that it would be a good idea to begin to give a little more individualized vocal coaching. And so what I asked Tina to do a while back is to put together a task force that would examine our taping procedure and see where we were and see where we might want to go from here. And what we're doing tonight is really the result of that task force. And what I'd like to do, Tina, if you wouldn't mind, is just, if you want to pass out your sheets that you have and just give us a little overview as the chairman of the taping task force committee to give us a little bit of an outline of what's been going on.
I'll just sit down. You can have one in a minute.
We're going to try to get out of here in a reasonable hour, so we've got a lot of ground to cover. We don't expect that we're going to make you, like expert vocal technicians, but we're going to at least be able to help enlighten you a little bit. Okay, hit it.
Okay. We've been taping in this chorus for about as long as I can remember. I don't quite remember when we weren't. And it's always just been a good way to make sure that we know what we're doing and that we are all on the same track. But little rules and regs or guidelines, whatever you want to call them, have never really been written down. So that was the main goal, was to get some of this written down. And in addition to changing the focus so that we would be talking about coaching. And we were trying to come up with a name, and we were throwing lots of things around and came up with Personal Improvement Program. It'll just be referred to as PIP, not PIP printing, but... So you'll see that there's a little description first. This piece of paper will be given to each chorus member so that they know what their guidelines are and what the staff guidelines are, what we have been taught to bring back to them, and how it's supposed to all work together, so that they'll be prepared up front when they see what's coming from you, and hopefully if they feel like that it really is an effort to all help one another, nobody will take it critically or personally or or whatever, that we will be shooting toward these little A scores, as I said here, hopefully with a first place medal as well. But there's very little that will be real new to those of you who have been doing this for a while. But we did try to be specific about some things that maybe I've done for years in my section and somebody else has done a little differently or whatever, just so that we could put it down on paper and be consistent. Even some of the deadlines, like achieving accuracy by 6 weeks prior to competition, 3 weeks, we've kind of been doing that, but we've just never really had it on a piece of paper where somebody could say, oh, I need to look at that and figure out where we are. So we talked about what the members will do and how that will work, and then about making learning tapes and how the lyric sheets will work and who assigns who to do what, starting with Sandi assigning section leaders and going down from there. And then we tried to outline for you this coaching evaluation segment where we will be dealing with all of these different categories that we are going to be talking about today, so I won't go through all of them because that will be covered. And that we are going to be doing record keeping and how it should be done. And yes, we've been doing it, but maybe it's been hit or miss, and maybe it's not been quite what we hoped it would be, and now we'll have this to maybe go by. But if nothing more, at least it will all be down on paper, and the new members will get it in their hand, and there hopefully will be fewer questions. So hopefully it works, and maybe annually or however often we will update it as needed. Simple as that.
It's something we've needed for a long time. Tina, I may need a copy of that just so that
sorry.
I can cover all the things that you said I was going to.
Okay.
Tina, would you also give Linda one, because she's going to be taking some notes for us.
Okay, did we run out at the end there? Did you all get one? Send them back, aren't you efficient?
Okay, along with power comes responsibility. When we give you more to do, you have a responsibility that you need to accept, as far as making sure that the tapes are graded and turned around in time in the next week, so that people know whether or not they passed or have to retape or not. And the other thing is that the motivation factor that is going to be real crucial here. Whenever one begins to work with the voice, they're opening themselves up to your personal criticism. They're very vulnerable at that point. The voice is probably one of the most personal things, because it's like your fingerprint. You know, you can make your voice better, but it's really the one that you were born with. And if you were born with a certain inside mechanism that only allows for a certain amount of space so that the sound can reverberate around, that's all you have to work with. And so it becomes, yeah, right, we'd like to make Strysands out of everybody in the chorus, but some people just aren't going to be capable of producing the kind of sound that probably you all can produce. And so a little bit of sensitivity, a lot of sensitivity on your part is going to be really necessary, because we don't want anybody to quit or be discouraged over a comment that was made on an evaluation sheet. It's only supposed to be something that will give them motivation to work harder, and something that might help if you hear a problem that maybe can be corrected quickly. There are a lot of things that we're going to talk about that we'll watch for and listen for, and if you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to come to me or your section leader or an assistant director and ask for an opinion, or say, hey, can I play this part for you, either before rehearsal or over the phone or something, just let us have some input there, because it may be something that you know how to correct, but you might not be able to put it into the right words, or for various reasons. Just don't hesitate to come and ask questions, because what we tell people, what you all as role models, and you are role models in this chorus, whatever you say, they're going to believe is gospel. They're going to think, oh, well, she said so, therefore I must be, and so your words carry a lot of weight, and especially if they're written down. They're written down, they read it over and over and over, and you might as well just tell them in their ear 500 times that, retape. I mean, that's really the message that they're going to replay every time they look at those sheets that you give them back. So it's so important that you choose your words carefully, and that you give them the right advice. And so if there's any hesitation on anybody's part, don't hesitate to get help. Yes?
But people are going to have to realize that once in a while, you're not going to say everything just exactly right. So they have to kind of give you a break in that respect.
Hopefully we're going to give you the tools and and honestly, if it's something that you don't know how to fix, then I wouldn't even worry. I wouldn't touch it. I mean, if it's something that I don't know how to fix, I won't touch it. I'll say, you need to go and ask somebody how to do this. A good example is the bass section. I don't feel qualified to coach the bass section. I've never felt it. I don't know what it feels like. I've asked Diane Huber to come in, just because she can put it into words that basses are going to understand, because she's been there. She knows what it feels like. There are just certain areas that we're just not qualified to handle. If somebody's gone on a hormone recently, it could change their whole voice. Or if they're a smoker, or if if they're going through a lot of stress, anything can change the vocal, the voice. And so, it could be something as simple as that.
Sarah made an interesting comment last night that a lot of times the quality of the tape.
Well, yes. One of the things that I want to make sure that before you make any comment at all, you've got to ask yourself, is it the tape recorder? I mean, that's the very first thing. And then, is the person in good vocal health when they did this? Are they just getting over a cold? Do they have they been singing all night and maybe they just, were worn out or tired or for whatever reason? Is she standing next to somebody who could affect the sound of her voice? Sometimes we take on the characteristics of the people that we're standing next to. So, and then is this a consistent problem, or is this just something that happened that night? For whatever reason, did they just kind of go brain dead for a minute and not make it, or did they just run from the bathroom and are they out of breath because of that? So, anything. There can be many reasons, and so you have to ask yourself all of those questions. The tape recorder is definitely an issue because, as you're going to hear tonight, and when I was going through some of the tapes that I brought, the tape recorder can make all the difference in the world. Also, how close it is and whether there's distortion on it. I was really surprised at some of the tapes that we were using as learning tapes for so long, because I don't know how anybody in the chorus ever learned anything, especially if they were mimicking the voices that we were giving them to mimic. Yes.
The little handheld ones that everybody has?
Yes.
The distortion on those things are horrendous.
It's incredible. So if you feel like it's just, you're not capable of doing any kind of vocal production help because of the equipment that they're using, and you'd like to, you might suggest to the person that they borrow a really good tape recorder if they want vocal production help,
Or get
just
together with them.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because bottom
That's
line
fine.
on the tape is correct notes and words.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
That's what we're aiming
That's
for.
what we're
We want-
seeking.
That's
Is
the
correct
first
notes
thing.
and words.
Right. One beyond that.
What we're installing tonight is that
Yeah.
part two, the continuation of correct notes and words, and that's the correct vocal production produced with a nice open tone. What I have tried to put together tonight is just a lot of stuff that I've collected over the years that I find particularly useful. It's a lot. We'll go through some of it while we're here tonight because some of it is really good. There's a terrific handout on flatting. There's a lot on just the vocal mechanism. There's just different problems that you might run into and things that people might come to you and ask a question, and then maybe you can make a Xerox. This is all stuff that is out and circulated in Sweet Adelines and certainly acceptable material. It's the company line, so to speak. So you won't be giving anybody any bad advice if you Xerox a copy of any of this and give it to them, because this is all stuff that has been provided over the years through the Director's Seminar and the International Music Faculty Training Programs. So it's good stuff in there. The reason why we've chosen you is because you all have, everybody in this room really has a certain high level of vocal skill and a high level of people skill. And those are the two issues that come into play most often. Sometimes you need 70% musicality and 30% people, and sometimes you need 70% people and 30% musicality, and it just depends on the situation and the person. We can't make every singer an international champion, but we can make every singer better. And that's why we're an educational organization, is because what we're going to try to do, starting tonight, is make the St. Louis Harmony Chorus a chorus of better singers. And that's why I'm enlisting your help. So let's get started. Anytime along the way, if you have any questions at all, please raise your hand and we'll tackle it. I want to get a copy of this. The first couple of pages are the ones that I'm going to go over tonight, and the rest of it, that material, is just all stuff that you all can read on your own time. I'm not going to read it to you. This, the very first handout is called Criticism Giving Techniques. It was, Jenny Nance did this for the 87 Directors Seminar, and they're so good, and it bears repeating, and I'm going to repeat it not for you as much as for the camera, because anyone who isn't here tonight is going to, before they put their pen to the paper is going to be required to watch this videotape and get all of this, because I don't want anybody going in there unprepared or just, throwing in there. Be aware of your intention. If the intention is to make a better singer out of it. It's not to slam dunk somebody. It's not to put anybody in their place. It's to make them better. And nobody, not one person in this whole chorus, comes to chorus and tapes in their little tape recorder and thinks to themselves, I think I'm going to make a bunch of mistakes tonight and just sing the worst I possibly can. You all know from having taped over and over, it's like when you give that tape to the person who's going to grade it, it's kind of like,
I know.
That's what they usually do too.
Just like that.
it is.
They apologize as they hand it to you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then they're
It's
amazed when
so
you tell
much
them
a
that they
part.
passed or something.
It's like they're handing their soul over to you for evaluation, and they're just praying that you it's like me, and so there's just a lot to it. Your intention is to make them a better singer, and you can do that through all the motivation and through all the good comments that you can make. Be specific rather than general. A good example of that is right now I'm in the international music faculty. I'm a faculty person, and every year we as faculty people get evaluated. Whenever we make a presentation, if there's another faculty person from that region in a music school in a class that I'm conducting, they will evaluate me, and so I get evaluated all the time, because we're real busy doing music schools. So I've had a lot of evaluations. Well, one of my comments, all of my comments were really great. The one criticism, and of course we always read the criticisms, no matter where we are in life and how confident we are, that one criticism is going to stick out. It said, if I can make one suggestion, please target your classes to the level of your audience.
Real specific.
And I thought, huh? Well, of course I wouldn't go into any region not knowing who I was going to be talking to, and there's going to be a lot of levels of an audience. But what that comment told me was absolutely nothing. Of course, but was I too specific or was I too general? Nobody said. That was the comment. And so I had to write back to the chairman of the faculty, the EDC, Marge Bailey, and say, I need a little clarification here. I want to do the best I can, but I didn't get anything out of that comment. That, to me, that said nothing. Am I too specific or am I too general? And I still haven't heard. I still don't know. So it's kind of like, duh. So this comment, being specific rather than general, it really is true. People don't want to hear, be careful not to flat. Because, of course, they're going to be careful not to flat. That's just kind of a given. But if you can give them specific places where they're flat, or a note that needs more breath support, or for whatever reason, give them more specific direction. Because a comment that's made like that will just make a person, I got kind of angry about it when I thought about it for a while. I thought, they got their nerve. I don't know whether I'm good or bad or what's to do about that one. So.
How did they say that was good?
Oh, they said, everything else was good. If I can make one criticism, or one comment, please remember to target your, and I thought, all right, okay. All right, take the other person's needs into account. So important. Is this person here to really be a better singer? Is she here because she likes the camaraderie? Is she here because she likes the attention that she gets when she's on stage, or likes the applause, or likes a pat on the back, or they need confidence? You know the people, hopefully, or you'll get to know the people that are assigned to you, so that you can kind of read them. Some people are very matter of fact. They want what's going on. Don't pussyfoot around. Don't beat around the bush. Just tell me how it is, and then get out of my face. Other people want it so sugar-coated that it's somewhere hidden in there. Somewhere hidden in there is a comment that they can get better, and you can. Kind of with some people, you have to hit them over the head and be blunt. With other people, you have to be sort of like Mr. Rogers. I like you. You're wonderful. You're special. You're a very important part of this chorus, and we need you.
And fix it.
If you would fix this one little spot, then you'd be even more perfect than you already are. Yeah, exactly.
Then you did my job.
Good enough.
You're smart enough.
Direct criticism. That's right. Direct your criticism toward changeable behavior. My gosh, if a person can't get low and they're not able to, and through exercises and over time is not able to expand their range, maybe they're in the wrong voice part, or maybe it's just beyond their capability. And, we're not, like I said, we're not going to make Pavarottis out of everybody. Find an appropriate time and place to give criticism. If you feel that this person can't handle having it written, then just grade their notes and words, and as you hand them the tape and the piece of paper, say to them, I listened to your tape and it's really good. Have you ever tried doing this or vocalizing up to a certain note, or I'd like to work with you one-on-one sometime if you have a chance, or if you'd come a little early to rehearsal. I'd like to help you through this spot, or whatever. You'll know the person hopefully well enough that you can kind of feel that out, that there may be an appropriate time and place, and maybe they don't want to see it written down, or maybe there's so much wrong that you don't know where to start. And so in that case, you might want to just give them their lyric sheet back and say, see me after rehearsal, I'd like to work with you on breath support, or posture, or something simple. Give them a little bit at a time. Limit criticism to the amount of information the person can use. That goes without saying. We don't ever want to overwhelm somebody, and especially if they're still making errors on their tapes, you're going to see that tape again. So don't try to throw the kitchen sink into this evaluation the first time, because it could be that maybe you just need to work on little pieces at a time. First hit the vocal production, or first hit the breath support, posture and breath support first. Then see what's happening. Watch them at rehearsal. Just, give them little bits and pieces at a time. Because if their note and word perfect, then, their chances are their vocal production isn't going to be too out of line anyway, because they've got a lot of musical knowledge. But you can certainly give them some criticism at that point. Criticize what is said or done, not why, and do not guess at the other person's intentions or motives. Just stick to the facts. If at that particular place in the song they go flat, then say, at this word, I noticed that you were a little under the pitch, and then maybe tell them what they can do to fix it. But a general broad comment, or, you're consistently flat doesn't give anybody any direction at all. Check to ensure clear understanding. You might want to say, if you have any questions about this, I'd be happy to talk to you. Write your phone number on the bottom of their page so they don't have to look it up or something, so that it makes it easy. Be accessible to them. Avoid threats or accusations. I don't think we even have to go over that, because I don't even know. None of you are going to do that. A hostile response can sometimes be diffused by verbally predicting the other person's reaction. Some people are going to handle criticism better than others. And the person that they'll probably come to with it is the section leader first, or maybe write to me. I want you to read what is on this comment. I don't agree with it at all. Well, I want you to know that in 100% of the cases, I will back you up. You can count on me to back you up. What I will do in a case like that is listen to the person's tape and read the comment, or that's what I will suggest, that they let me listen to their tape and let me see their comments, and then I'll discuss it with you about it, and we'll decide together what we can do to handle it. I won't ever admit that you are wrong. We'll talk about it together. So you have my support there. If the criticism produces positive results, give verbal recognition and praise. The next time you hear that tape, if they've been able to conquer the problem, boy, please tell them about it, because that's really important. The next page is just some words that this is a sheet that I sat down and did. It was pretty neat to sit down. I sat down with some of my old judging sheets, not necessarily my personal ones, but those that I've received over the years, and there's a trend to this. There's judge speak. And judge speak is usually worded very positively, and you can never go wrong if you start your sentences with these summary words. Continue to work on vocal production. Continue to work on breath support, that kind of thing. Because that says that you are working on it, and just now continue to do that. Not, if you would get breath support under control, you would be a whole lot better off, because they think they are. Everybody thinks they have it. Strive for greater sense of breath support, or strive to achieve a higher range or a lower range. You're on the right track. Now, do this. Now you're on the right track. Now, expand yourself even further. Develop a stronger sense of pitch or accuracy or whatever, right? But by saying develop a stronger sense, that means that you've got it started now. Now let's make it even stronger. Despite the flaws, you do have. So if there are a lot of note and word errors, they're going to see that. The page is going to be all marked up. Despite the flaws, you do have a nice lyrical sense. You do have a good handle on breath support or your highs and lows or your accurate singer or whatever. Your hard work is evident. Now go the next step, whatever that might be. And continue your commitment to pitch accuracy, note and word perfection, vocal production skills, that kind of thing. Now, if you really get stuck, and we all will, mastery of a tonal center will help give you the clean performance you desire. What you're saying there, this is all judge speak. I took these right out of the thing. You've all seen this before.
Social Work 101 says the same thing.
Yes, of course it does. Of course it does.
Preschool education.
But what we're saying here is, we know you want to be the best you can be. I know that. And so by mastering this, you can be. By mastering this one more thing. Continue working on the basics while adding more energy and artistry to your presentation or to your song or whatever. You are on your way. It's just sort of, coupled in there with, Bev calls it a cookie, what?
Cookie sandwich.
A cookie sandwich, right. I like that. Yeah. You know what to do. Develop a stronger musical product and more confidence in yourself to allow you to be the performer you know you can be. Understanding of the basics is evident. What is missing is the crystal clarity and attention to detail. Oh, bad typo there. That can be achieved through absolute tuning and consistent vocal control. If they understand the basics, if they know how to form a vowel, to make the phrase go from the beginning to the end without doing any dreadful things, they understand the basics. I don't think there's anyone in this whole chorus that doesn't understand the basics of vocal production. At least they've heard it, or they've gotten it through the classes, the 6-week classes or a music school or something. But what they might need to do is more attention to the details. You obviously enjoy singing. Now work even harder on developing an energized delivery with total control and note and word perfection. And then some really fine moments. Building consistency in your vocal skills will add to the musicality of the chorus as a whole. In other words, what you're saying to that person is, you are important to the whole of this chorus, and we can make you better if you can build in a little bit more consistency. You do it all the time because you're doing it some of the time, but we need to have you do it all the time. And then if it's really good, say so. Put beautiful job, or very artistic, or a joy to listen to, or lots of finesse, great job, that kind of thing. Make sure that you say. Now, the guidelines for personal vocal instruction or the personal improvement program was, we went over this at one of our past things, past director staff meetings.
Right.
So I'm not going to go over this again. But I will tell you that the very first thing that I will look for in a singer is their posture. And the second thing that I'll look for is their breath support. Because it's usually, if they're having problems getting sustaining energy, energizing phrases, getting to the ends of a phrase without losing all their air, it's usually because they're either standing slumped over like this in an 8 position, or they're carrying their chin too high or too low, or they're screwing up, they're putting their chin forward, or they're doing something on a posture and a physical level. It's not always just listening and making the articulation happen. Sometimes it's very physical. And then I check their breath support. And a lot of people don't know how to breathe. And even a lot of people who think they know how to breathe don't know how to breathe. And a lot of more people know how to breathe, but just forget. I need to be reminded of it. And I'm going to play Sue Singer's tape first, because I listened to this, and I will even tell you what I said. I gave her a She gave me permission to play her tape. I did not check it for note and words, because that wasn't what, I mean, you all could do that. She did Friends. Also, I will remind you that anybody that is in the chorus, and we talk about them at any level, as always, in the music staff meetings, it's confidential and it doesn't leave this room. Okay? There's a trust there. I don't want people going out and saying, we listened to your tape and we said, you know. That is a very personal thing. Sue has given us permission to listen to it, to play it, and I'm glad she did, because she's very good. Very good. I didn't put too much effort. Okay. She's doing Friends. It is a very distorted tape.
Friends, 3/1/94.
This was a week ago.
Friends, just friends, always friends to the
I think her tape recorder is running down.
end. We're friends.
I'm sure that this is going to be a lot like what you hear. Now, I'm going to pause it right here, because I'm going to tell you what I told her at the very beginning. I feel that Sue is an accurate, she's an accurate singer. She has well-supported tones that are the result of good breath support. Sue has excellent breath support, and you'll hear it throughout. Those tones are all well-supported. It's distorted because that's her tape recorder, and I wouldn't ever hit anything more than that on it. She has a very strong voice, and it's picking up on the tape recorder, and she's blowing her mic out. That's the problem. But now, we're going to get into the body of the song. She is not relaxing into her lows. And you'll hear that. What I said is, by relaxing into lows, you'll get a more lyrical and resonant tone. And then I have in parentheses, lifetime's not too long to live as friends, which is a very low part in the song. And every time she goes and does that line, lifetime's not too long to live as friends, she's tensing up. She's tightening up. And so she needs to relax into those lows and just let it happen. She's making it happen. She's making, I mean, there's no air in that sound. It's just nice, clear, clarion tones. Nice straight line. She gets low, she's pushing.
And friends are friends forever. It's the Lord of them. Friend will not say never. the welcome will not end. Hard to let you go in the
Okay, here's the
Father's
line that
hands
she's not
we
relaxing into.
know. Lifetime's not too long to live as friends.
Hear that?
Right
Okay,
here.
she's bearing down on it.
And friends are friends forever if the Lord's the Lord of them.
She needs to just relax everything when she's singing and let it come out naturally because she's got good accuracy. She can be a learning tape.
In the Father's hands we know.
All right, now I'm going to stop it here. The last note of the song, Friends, sounds like she ran out of air. What I suggested, what I said verbatim, last note of song sounds like you ran out of air. You might try dropping out of the chord, taking a relaxed breath, then ease back into the chord to add your strength to the last note.
Oh, lifetime's not too long, it's not too long. Live as friends.
What happens to a bass when they run out? They go up. Yeah. See, what has happened is she's running out of air.
Do you think that pushing the sound down low causes
Yeah, she's out of
her to lose
air.
more air than she needs
Oh,
to
sure.
lose there?
Well, she's just not relaxed.
Right.
She's pushing. She's jamming her soft palate. And when if she just relax everything, if she just bend over. Oh, I can't sing that low. You know I am. Yeah, if she'd add a little air and just relax everything, just keep everything relaxed. But she's jamming it, and I'll give her this. Any other comments that you all would make out of something like this?
Yes, a question. I don't know, I mean, not knowing Sue's voice, is that real low for her? Is that
Well,
in
she's
her
hitting the
lower-
note. She's hitting the note. She's just hitting it with an abrasive quality. She's definitely a bass.
I know,
I mean,
but
there would be
is
no
it really in the
place
low
else.
end of her?
What is
Yeah,
that note,
It is
T?
kind of,
It's
it's
a
kind
low.
of low.
It's a low
If
note.
it's tough, maybe, you know, you can.
Well, it's written in E flat, and that's the tonal
That
center.
would be.
So,
Oh, it's written in E flat?
well, we blow E
Yes, we
flat
blow E
at the
flat.
beginning. I don't know where it is at that point. I think
Okay, I
there's
thought it
one
was
key
lower
change
than
up.
that, that's fine.
There's a key change up, so if we're in key, it should be an E. But, you know, if you're out of
No,
air,
may not
and
be
if
in
you're
pitch.
if you're not producing a relaxed, open tone, it's you know the ABCs is the airway and the breathing and the clarion tone, the clear tone. If the airway is out, I mean if you're depleted and your breath support isn't putting any diaphragm behind it, and you can't produce a clarion tone or a clear tone. So anyway.
One thing a lot of people are doing in that song is instead of saying friends, EH, they're saying friends.
Yes.
And so
Yes.
Sue is
I'm sorry to bother you, but there's a Toyota right at the very front door and the light is on inside. I'm afraid if you're here another hour, you may have a dead battery.
Thank you very much. I don't know who.
A silver WW.
It might be me.
It might be you.
Well, go fix yours. Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Okay, good.
Fix it. Anything else that you would add?
One thing that I would say is if you feel like the ooze that she was singing, you know, Marcia's trying to get us to sing Roll Round on this
Yes.
song, that I would maybe compare some of the forest areas to the ooze and say, yes, you have the idea of what the sound that we're trying to achieve on this song, do it throughout the song.
Good. Exactly. Yeah. And that will give her a reference point, you know, certainly. And she does. She starts out with a nice clear ooze.
I thought it sounded very back and dark. I probably would have told her it was a little too round, but
she's got an O inside. She's doing what Marsha's asking
right,
for.
right, and that's why I said that first.
Yeah, probably if she listened to this, you might say that she would want to focus just a little bit more.
really have to do the egg
It's-
business,
It's
yeah.
almost swallowed. But see, I'm not a bass, so I don't know what it feels like, you know. But you're right.
Sandy, when would you address Val with someone like
Later.
Sue? Like,
Yeah.
hope
Yeah.
maybe
Unless
that-
it's a- I
hope
mean,
maybe
you know.
that it's addressed in chorus and so
The
it's.
only vowel that I heard that was really
The only one-
mispronounced was friends.
Yeah, that's the only one that
And it
bothered
was
me.
really because I think she's pushing. You know, when you
Made it more bloody, more friends,
Friend.
when you push, it comes out, friend.
friend.
Yeah. Yeah. So that just happens. Okay. Well, let's see.
Were you all surprised? Of course
No,
not.
I'm not. Sure you're not
Is it-
center in
who's,
disguise?
Who's Star Spangled Banner? Is it?
Oh, this is an old learning tape in tenor, and it's not Lynn, but I don't know who it is.
Okay.
Bob McLean.
Could be Pat McLean. Sure. Okay.
It's,
Well, I
I
have
checked,
not
and
heard
Lynn, I'm
this
pretty
one.
sure it's not you. If
I
it
have-
is, I'm sorry.
I haven't heard this, so
Oh,
let's.
she won't care.
We're not going to listen to notes, although if it's a learning tape, it's note and word perfect already. But let's.
Yeah, they weren't.
At any point in time.
And if it isn't, we speak to one another right away.
Yes.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light
Not Sandy either.
Proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous night
Yeah, like the batteries were going bad. That's when you go into chipmunk mode.
Everybody's too
Everybody's too high. That's too high for the lead.
That's how we sing it.
Maybe just a tad.
Was it just recorded too slow, perhaps?
Might have been, but not much.
Okay, well, let's forget about that. Can we hit the quality at all, even though it is high? Is this person in the right part?
A little heavy for tenor?
Yes. Definitely a tenor.
She's saying definitely tenor.
Actually, it's really accurate.
Very accurate.
Very.
Okay, we've got an accurate voice here. We should say that. She has a good tenor quality. That's that lyric soprano quality that we're looking for. It's a nice forward, bright sound. No breaks. No. I mean, I felt
sounds
that she was
relaxed.
very accurate, very good.
If it's not the tape, I like to hear just a little bit warmer sound in the voice. It sounds
Yeah,
a little bit.
but you have to remember, we
Yeah.
don't know who she was singing with.
Right.
And if she was singing with some very forward people, you know.
But I mean, if you listen to somebody in the chorus and you continually got this kind of a sound,
Uh-huh.
would you then not want
Then
to address
you would
maybe
want
warming
to
up the sound, make
probably-
it a little rounder and
Yeah.
a bigger girl sound?
Well, just because we are going to be talking about texture and vocal texture, and in all four parts. You know, we don't want a lot of that sameness in our sound anymore.
I don't have a great changes.
Uh-huh. Oh, I didn't even look to see what this was. I just blew it in there. This is lead on Believe It or Not.
That's Juliet Jackson.
Is it queued up or
Yep,
is it?
it's queued up.
Okay.
Just play it.
Look at what's happening to me. I can't believe it myself. Suddenly I'm up on top of the world. It could have been somebody else. Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. I never thought I could feel so free. Flying away on a wing and a prayer. Who could it be? Believe it or not, it's just me. Just like the light of a new
She's got fairly good breast
day.
support.
It took me from
Kind
out
of
of the
flipped that last
blue.
phrase, but
Freaking me out of the spell I was in, making all of my wishes come true. Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. I never thought I could feel so free. Flying away on a wing and a prayer. Who
the right voice part.
Believe it or not, it's just me. It's just me. This is too good
She's
to
controlling her
be
vibrato
true.
very well, and that's hard to
Look
do.
at me.
She's keeping it as straight as possible to
Singing
the
for
end.
you.
Bothered by everything in the head voice.
It's all
Yeah.
bothered by on the low. That's what you said too.
It's very muddy
Walking
sounding.
on air.
Well, but she hasn't flatted anything.
Yes,
And-
she has.
Yeah,
I
she
think
has.
she has.
I don't.
You don't? Oh, I think
See,
she
that
does.
doesn't, the head
Her
voice,
tonal center's
Susan sings
going
everything in head
crazy.
voice too. I mean, that's her training.
Yeah.
I wouldn't knock anybody for that. That's, to me, that's, she's got, you don't know if that's head voice or chest voice, she's just mastered the mix.
That's right.
I would, well, but it's not your purpose to like or dislike.
No, but it's muddy sounding when it's that low. And part of the,
What do you
part
mean
of,
muddy?
it's not
You mean her
as
low
solid
leg?
as it should be. Her lows aren't as solid as they should.
Well,
Especially
it's not
since
enough
when
focus?
they're that low, the baritones are gonna be much higher.
I
And
never
it's not
thought
gonna
I could
fill out.
feel
I
so
want to get
free.
a low part. Is there a low part in this?
There was
a
one?
bit.
Yeah,
There
there
was
was.
right at the very beginning.
Wishes come true.
Right at the beginning.
I'm
yeah.
so free.
I'll take that voice.
I'm walking
The one before.
Yeah, this is the all stage.
There's the right.
Yeah, but,
Yeah, of course
but
there's
we're
right.
here to make comments, so.
It's very air, she's got a lot of air in it.
Well, it's hard to know what is air and what is support.
Look at what's happening to me.
Even that right there, those lows, right?
Believe it myself.
Not accurate.
Suddenly I'm up on top of the
Now
world.
it is.
It could have been somebody
But the low ones aren't.
else. Believe it
See,
or
I think
not,
we might
I'm
be
walking
getting
on
too
air.
picky
I
if we
never
start
thought I
hitting
could feel
things
so
like that.
free.
I really do. If I had a whole chorus of Sonia singers like that,
Sure.
I wouldn't say anything to discourage this person. She's very accurate, and she rides. I know she's got vibrato, and she's controlling that vibrato right to the end, which is exactly what you want her to do.
Freaking me out
It
of the
helps too
spell
if
I
you know
was
where that
in,
person
making
is
all
in
my
your
wishes come
barbershop
true.
development. Because
Believe
Juliet
it or
came
not,
from
walking on air, I
classical
never
training,
thought I could be
and
so
when she started singing with our
free.
quartet, one of the things she was working on was trying to get more chest tone in her lows. And she had not quite arrived at the point in time that she did this tape, but later on she did develop a lot more in the lows, you know, so it helps if you, I mean, you would know that if she were in your section probably, you know,
This is too good to be true.
She's a good example
Look
of
at me.
helping somebody who has either a
Singing
wide
for
or a
you.
tight vibrato to let them hear that the vibrato's in it, but you can tell she's controlling it. And
Yeah,
it might
and
help
you're-
somebody who's having trouble. See, it's there, but she's controlling it. It would be a good example to show them that it can be controlled. A lot of trained singers don't think they can control that vibrato, but they
Believe it
can.
or not, it's just me.
Lip bit won't hurt in the lead part
Believe it or
though.
not,
Not throughout
Depends on
though,
when
just
they
at
do
the
it.
end of the
Yeah.
phrases,
Yeah.
you don't see any saying.
believe it or not, I'm walking on it.
No, right?
Yeah.
The lows are the only
She's
ones
real
that
accurate.
it bothers me on, yeah. Because the rest of it's really nice.
Well, and one other thing maybe we should mention here is that we
You guys
put
are gonna
in
be a
the,
little pickier than what I would have been.
in the PIP program,
Somebody's take, we think we're gonna hurt her feelings
But
either.
Sandy,
We
you
can
know,
also ask us
when
to
someone
listen
who
for
does
things.
everything right, then, you know, do you not want to respond to them at all? If you feel like for instance, like I happen to have personally known that Juliet was working on trying to get more mix in that lower range, because her low range, she didn't use that much.
Mhm.
She started
Because
singing
she's
leads,
an opera
you
singer.
know, but.
She's
but-
a mezzo soprano.
Right, but, I mean, would you not want, if you know you're already working on it, just say, hey, I can hear your work that you're doing on that, or
But
what?
see, I didn't hear anything in that voice that I would necessarily criticize at all.
Everybody doesn't have a very high tone. I mean, I have a lot of air in my tone personally. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
you can't, I don't think you can make someone's voice, I mean, you don't want them to sing like a laser beam. if that's
Well,
their
and we
voice.
don't want everybody to sound the same either.
Well, right, I mean, you gotta.
We want the warms and we want the brights and we want the differences, you know.
The thing is that if Juliet were still in this
Both
course,
the production wise.
she would probably be in this room right now. You know, if
Yeah.
she were still in this course, she would probably be a group leader at least.
Absolutely.
You know, and,
Yeah, well, vocal production wise, myself personally, I probably wouldn't have, I would have just said, great job, doing a great job, you know. And then if I got another tape and there was something that I could really hammer on, the lows didn't sound unsupported.
No, just a little.
Dan?
I think that
Maybe
comes
more
with time,
control
though.
or something.
Not controlled, yeah.
Because they weren't exactly,
The question I have is, we're listening to a tape one-on-one, and like you said, that one voice is a part of many, and so we need all the darks and brights and everything.
Right.
That's probably gonna be the hardest job for us, I think, is to make sure we try to stay that middle of the road and not judge so much one way or the other. Because if we're bright and somebody else is singing real dark, says, gee, they don't sound like I do this.
That's right.
That's
Yeah.
gonna be really easy to do.
And it's like a fingerprint, everybody has different things inside and different, their makeup, their whole construction is different. And so everybody's going to be bringing just a little bit different, that's why we can listen to things and hear it.
I have another word, a lot of head voice, all the way down. But we are trying to reach a happy medium, happy, good, controlled,
Why do fools fall in love? Why do birds sing so gay? And lovers wait the break of day. Why do they fall in love and love? Dum da ba dum da ba dum da ba da ba dum dum da ba dum da ba dum da ba dum 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 da ba dum. Why do they fall in love and love?
Okay, let's talk about accuracy.
She lost tempo.
She lost tempo, but tempo, I mean, like note to note accuracy. It's not bad.
It's close, it's close.
I think it's a good first try, if that's her first
It's not
tape.
bad
It's not.
accuracy.
Oh.
It's, what, well.
Are the
Not
notes
the first tape.
correct? They're just a
They're
little
just a
over
little
or
over
under? Which we said would not be counted as a wrong
Wait,
note.
there's one
That's
on here
right.
for that.
See, the problem is, when you get 50 people doing the same thing, then you don't have any kind of accuracy.
Now, see,
Yeah,
the-
but-
That's the problem.
Already at the beginning, I wouldn't hit her accuracy as much as what I would do is ask her to be more lyrical in the choosing of her music. Because what she's doing is she's reading the notes off the page. And she's dum-da-ba-dum-da-ba-dum-da. And so there's no sense of
Yeah.
fluid.
It's almost as if you can hear her head bobbing up and
Yeah.
down.
So to make her a better singer, we need to decide whether this person is capable of being totally accurate or whether she just needs to add a little sense of artistry, because,
She's fairly new,
okay,
within the last
we're
4
gonna
or
listen
5
to a
months.
little more of it. Okay, let's listen to a little more.
Love is a losing game. Love can be a shame. I know a fool you see. For that fool is me. Why?
Now, I sing this song a lot, and this is a difficult song. The jumps are difficult, and they go back and forth over your break all the time. All the time, so it's a challenging part. It's a challenging part.
Tell me why, oh why, tell me why, why do they kiss and they sail through the night, those flowers caress all through the night, why do they fall in love?
Sounds like tenor.
Tell me why do stars shine
It's a tenor part, isn't it? Yeah, but she sounds a whole lot better singing that than she does the baritone. Yeah. I stopped it, Brian, we stopped it. She's
I
much
may want
cleaner
to
up
actually revoice test her
Okay.
and see if possibly she's in the wrong voice part.
she sure sounded more comfortable when she
She
got up
sounded
there.
a whole lot more
Rearranged
comfortable up there.
Yeah.
And it was cleaner and it didn't have all that heavy.
It was like two
and-
different
and-
people.
I know it
It
was.
sounded to me like she's got like an alfalfa feel, like it's gonna break, and when she was in her lower range, where it should be the meat of her range,
just
that
need that song.
middle range.
Yeah.
Huh?
And it
I
sounded
think
comfortable to me
song.
listening to her.
No, she's much cleaner sounding up there.
She
than
was
she was
so
up there.
very shy that she could sing.
But I think you heard her tape.
Yes.
And everything always sounds like the beginning. So I just think this is.
Why do they kiss and they sail through the night?
It's much better. And it's consistent every time she
even her rhythm problems went away when she sang
cleaner,
that.
it's just clearer. And it's just a
Smoother.
different,
She
yeah.
smoothed it out.
I mean, overall, I would, after listening to the whole thing, probably
Yeah,
have
ladies.
said, listen, that she's probably in the wrong voice part.
It's a smoother
And that
part
has
than
nothing to do
very-
with her accent.
It's melody versus baritone.
Well, you still have to mulch.
Oh, yeah, at that point, she needs to, I need to know this person, who it is later, and she's going to talk to her. Because,
I don't know. I think I know too.
because this is a person that probably is uncomfortable singing baritone and doesn't realize how comfortable it could be singing tenor. She's
That's
a
what
good
her voice
strong
does to her,
upper
put her in the
voice,
wrong
too.
spot.
Right.
I didn't voice this for you.
Oh, I probably did.
I don't know who it is.
It's probably me.
Oh, give me that, so at least I know.
Yeah, good example. I need to make a phone call real quick. I'm gonna put this in. This is a baritone. This is boyfriend Lily. I have no idea who it is. Who is it?
Cindy Song.
Okay. Would you, conduct this one, just ask questions and I'll be right back.
It's Sandi Wright.
Just the way he walks along, gets me singing a song. I can't help singing a song, sing about him all day long. When my boyfriend's treating me right, we stay out and dance all night. When my baby does me wrong, I cry and sing a song, sing a sad, sad boyfriend song. Why do you treat me so wrong? You're my ooh. Any comments?
Yes, I am. And maybe she did.
That's
You know, a lot of people get irritated. You know, I've got to
She
go
has a
through
lot
mine
of breath
best
in
I
her
could.
voice.
It's almost like something's getting caught, like the sound stops and then it comes back again.
Very
It's almost
accurate.
like when she,
Yeah,
like if
very
she swallows or takes a
Yeah,
breath,
very accurate.
like the sound stops right in here
But
somewhere.
if I'm not mistaken, all the learning tapes that Cindy did sound like this.
But you
So I
know,
don't know if the
lower
hoarseness or
she
just the
was
quality.
in her range, the,
She gets edge more.
she gets, but
Yeah.
she also gets a bigger sound,
Yeah.
the
Mhm.
lower
Yeah.
she gets in her range, you
Yeah.
know. Of course, that song is, like all of her
This
songs,
was,
it's
yeah,
like a.
this was a bite, yeah.
oh,
Is
this
it,
was all
is this a
baritone.
typical baritone?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
It really is.
And if you sing it correctly, you should do this at there and then go up like this. I mean, that's the
Yeah,
baritone
yeah,
part.
that's
So there
supposed
should
to
be
be-
Say, her
Ours
head
is
tone
supposed to
sounded
do,
fine to
yes.
me.
Ours is supposed to sound like this
Because
way
it
down
does
here and then
sound
way up here.
different when she's singing her low notes.
Yeah, but it
It's a
should.
bigger
In a baritone
sound.
part, it should.
She's phoning. Right.
Yeah, she is.
I think she sings with quite a bit of resonance most of the
She
time.
does sing with a lot of resonance.
All you do,
Yeah.
bring my heart to wanna know I do wrong.
See how she got
to make
lighter when
you
she wasn't
stay
supposed to. That's
away
baritone.
so long, 'cause baby love, my baby
Sounds like there's a
love,
flood in the tape to
been
me.
missing you, miss kissing you, baby love, breaking up, baby love, making up.
Sign her up.
Yeah. Great.
All right.
Outstanding.
Yes.
Come on, where's another bad?
Yeah,
Well, I brought bad ones.
Give us one of yours, Marcia.
I didn't bring one of my own. I didn't bring
One look in those
This is Gail Anderson.
You're a great big gorgeous
This was a learning tape.
Then all the birds are singing.
No, this is your tape. Plus, okay, so.
Oh, baby, don't you realize?
Okay.
breath problem.
That's really good
well,
for Gail.
And what's causing
Sure,
that
it's
breath problem?
Gail.
See, breath problem isn't enough.
Yeah.
What's causing the breath problem, do you know?
Sounds like tension.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would say
yeah.
tension. And she's carrying her head voice, or her chest voice too
Way
high.
too high.
Eventually it's gonna take its toll on her voice.
I don't think that she did. I don't think that.
Didn't sound like chest voice to you?
Another thing we see, let's listen again then.
One look in those
She's kind of forcing it there.
Because it's high.
I don't think she's missing the head.
You're a great
voice, and then she took a breath and went back to her chest and then finished it and do it again. The minute she takes a breath, she goes back in a chest voice.
Okay.
I disagree.
How would you say that?
Sounds like a break. She can go either way.
Your great big gorgeous eyes, then all the birds are singing, the bells were ringing. Oh, baby, don't you realize?
Sounds like she's got hit in there to me.
And the spring is coming, I'm in love again. Hear my heartstrings, I'm in love again. And the tune I'm humming is God love blues. I'm in love again, and I can't rise above it.
This is a fairly accurate
Yeah,
voice.
it
She was accurate.
And whereas she sings a little bit in her face, you know, she sings like very forward.
Strident.
Yeah, more of a, she's got lots of highs in her voice. She might want to add a little lows just so that she's got more depth and more texture that she can play with. Right now it's just a sameness about her voice that we might want to,
Which is what
right,
they wanted
the color.
10 years ago.
Well, I'm not disputing that, I'm just
But I
saying
mean,
that
that's
now.
when Gail was, that's when
Yeah,
Gail
right, but
started.
if you listen to that right now, that's what you
Yeah.
have to say.
What,
Yeah.
how are we gonna handle, I mean, obviously chorus songs, a lot of times there are no breaths marked, or in
Right.
places that people have to duck out and take a breath. Obviously, you can't tell if they're singing right notes or wrong
If,
notes,
no,
because they're
that's all right,
singing.
but
Okay,
that's
you just-
correct,
you
that's,
just-
count that as a
that
correct
number,
note.
yeah.
We'd rather they
That's
leave
right.
out one they don't know.
It's always been my philosophy.
In the
We've done that in
guidelines.
spades. We've done that in spades. If some people are consistently hitting the wrong note, we always tell them take a breath there.
That's in the paper.
We've done that,
Too.
yeah.
The other thing is if they take a breath where they're not supposed to take a breath, that's a wrong note. But if they're stagger breathing, if we're stagger breathing, then.
While we're
that is-
talking about
Or if they
that, we
don't
may as
breathe where
well
we're supposed to.
address the other thing that's in that little section, because especially for tenors and basses, we decided that if it is out of their range, and they choose not to sing it, it won't be counted as a wrong note.
It won't
Because it would be a wrong note if it was out of their range and
yeah,
they tried
they
to
tried
sing
to
it.
sing it.
So in other words, you're talking about if we go sharp a step and the tenors can't hit the last note, or some of them.
Or if you have tenors like I have basses, some of them are,
Can't hit the low.
they
hit the
don't
lows.
physically manage it.
And
So if they can't do it,
Well,
fine,
even
don't do it.
It'd be better not to try it and then
Sometimes
see
I
it
can't.
would be to
Sometimes I
mouth
can't
your way
hit those
through
why
that.
is that only in the tenor?
Well, I just figured it would happen more there, top and bottom, but it would apply across the board.
But I would also encourage that person to extend their range and work to extend their range, but they probably made a wise decision
Of course, and I'm talking be on the stage or don't be on the stage,
yeah.
and that's when we
At
wouldn't
that
count
point,
that as a
it would
wrong
be
note.
better to have them dropping out. Yeah.
Will the lay chorus member understand add lows to your voice?
Well, that's up to you. Do you understand it?
Not really. I mean, not altogether. I don't understand. I've heard it said a lot of different ways, and I don't know if I would understand add lows to your voice. My
No,
first
it's
answer
a
would be
whole
how.
class.
Oh,
I'd
well,
have to
okay.
give you, my best demonstration is the coning thing that I do with the bright and dark continuum, and many of you have sat through that thing where you actually feel it. It's just to add lows for a lead, I would say if they would sing with people like Barbra Streisand, let's see, low leads. What's the one that did When Will I Be Loved? Linda Ronstadt has a lot of lows in her voice. Anne Murray is
Isn't it
Anne
the
Murray
bass?
is good.
Was it
Anne's
more
bass,
full-
I would
is
say.
it more fullness also? I mean, to me, that's what I think of when I.
That's when I
Resonance.
hear it, I think more resonant.
It's more here. When you're singing with a lot of highs, many times you can sort of feel it here. It's the difference between actually a lyric soprano and a mezzo soprano and an alto and a contralto. And so it gets very throaty the lower you go. But it's tenors sing lyric soprano. Mezzos are leads and varies. But there are brighter mezzos and a darker mezzo. Of course, Streisand has the capability of being bright and dark depending on the song. But Linda Ronstadt has a lot of chest voice.
Yeah.
And she's carrying a lot of things lower. She sings a lot of lower songs, which may create that illusion of the roundness inside, a fullness. Okay.
Yeah,
I want to listen to more of this because this is a good one.
Glad of the good news, oh yeah, I've got it bad for you, bad.
Her accuracy is amazing.
You first time I looked into
I always had her on the back row because of that accuracy
you
and
got a
that.
certain little cute way of
that
flirting with
brightness
them
to it.
eyes. And they make me feel so happy, and they make me blue. Oh no, stalling, yes I'm falling, going in a big way for sweet little you. My heart is jumping, you sure started something with them there.
She's another one that I would say, add a little bit of personality to your voice, a little bit of lyrical treatment, so that it's
they done got you in a whole lot of trouble.
so that it's not all so samey, add some texture.
Oh baby.
Then you have to be prepared to explain what it is if they ask you. I understand the texture is.
Right, and the love your voice. I know the concept.
Well, it's the difference between whispering and adding a lot of air and then taking all the air out. I'm in love again, and the tune I'm humming. I'm in love again, and that it's just it's the interest and but it all has energy. She sings with a lot of energy.
I'm in love again, and
She's got a great
again,
and
love again.
Breast support definitely needs a little work.
Love again, and the bells are ringing. Oh baby, when you get my way, you got my.
I think that I would suggest to improve her breast support, actually doing sit-ups and physical, walking steps, things like that, just increasing her stamina.
Take a look at her posture too.
Yes, posture would be the first thing I'd look at, right?
To me, she doesn't sound like she's
She's
pushing it all out.
breathing.
Giving it all out.
She's breathing right here.
a good full breath.
Yeah, and another exercise that might be good for her is nose breathing, and actually doing physical exercise and nose breathing. Because if you nose breathe, you take in, just try it. If you breathe through your nose, you're taking in a deeper breath. It starts down here. If you take in a mouth breath, you can mouth breath high. You can mouth breath low, but you can also mouth breath high. But just learning how to take it deep and trying to actually do her physical exercise or whatever she does. And she was in the Guards, so I know she's in good physical shape, but she's not in very good diaphragmatic shape.
But stood with her shoulders sloped though.
I was gonna say,
posture's
posture,
the first thing
it
to do.
sounds like
She always
she's
stood with her
kind
shoulders
of
That
got
was a
a
good
chin
example.
jutting or something too, maybe.
If you play the lead master, you might want to rewind it, because where I have it right now, the quality got really, really bad.
Okay.
And the flatter singer is, those are songs the chorus did.
Okay. How far do I go?
From the very beginning.
Okay.
I don't know, pick it up, let's see.
So far, so good. Did it start at the beginning? It says lead master. Oh, it's B lead master. Oh, they're both B. Wait a minute. I see. There's an A here. Let's try that. Both of the labels had B on it. Faked me out.
See, Bonnie, my tape recorder in my car must be backwards from putting it on one of these, because we had the same trouble. Remember trying to get it one of those tapes to
I'm just picking it up somewhere. That's two voices. It's going to be awfully hard to tell. Let's go back. Oh, yeah.
I mean, Chordbusters March is kind of a good example. That's
Probably
very
some Nancy
beginning.
Foster on this tape. Right?
Yeah, I never,
Should be a good one to critique.
yeah, I never heard Nancy sing on a tape, and I think she sounded different when I heard her, personally sing than if this is her on the tape.
These are learning tapes, folks. That's impressive.
Well, most of them don't sound like that. I don't know what that is.
This is probably a tape of a tape of a tape of a tape.
Yeah.
Maybe.
This is Nancy Foster.
The songs I have that will sound
sounding just like this, okay? Now do something with the vocal production of the tape like that.
Sounds like Julia Child when the tape's that bad.
Too close to the mic.
How's her accuracy? Let's hit that first. She is in this. At least I haven't heard anything that's consistent. You can miss a note here and there and just chalk it up as an ear part or whatever.
She's another one that had to take a lot of vibrato out when she was
Yes.
singing by herself. Really did a good job.
I think there's two leads singing this too, but sometimes you hear the person next to the lead. She's got a good handle on head and chest. Few intonation problems. But I would be specific and say where they are. I would just say, sing more in tune or don't sing flat. That doesn't say anything. Just goes right down. That's breast support at the end too. Okay. Any other comments?
Well, see, the quality of the actual tape is better
gets
at the very beginning or after this midsection where the tape, it must have all been done on the same day or something, because there are about 4 songs that sound like that. In the beginning, they're good, they're okay, they're clear, and then the end, they're clear.
Well, while I'm rewinding this, does anybody have any particular problems, people that they are vocal problems, not vocal problems, but people that they have in their charge right now?
Yeah, we haven't heard anything.
Nobody's been turning.
This might be an appropriate time to ask if we have run out of time to record for regional.
Yes, I'm wondering that too.
Was it something we were gonna
I
do?
thought we were not going.
I thought we were going to. We said they had to redo Girls' Night Out and Why Do Fools Fall in Love. And
Oh, I misunderstood.
For
I thought
international.
that
I
was
thought
for
we
the
weren't.
international package.
Yeah, I thought
It's
last
going
week
to
we
be
said it's too
approved
late.
by
for
the
regional.
international package because it's part of the international package.
So we won't be taping before regional
We'll
then.
be taping, but it won't be to keep anybody off the stage.
New people. So at least we know if they're in the ballpark.
Well, everybody's taping. I mean, it should be.
Not on those songs.
Well,
I haven't
whose
had
fault
any
is
turn
that?
in either.
I mean, you all have to go out and tell your people to tape. Everybody's
But
gonna get this.
we don't know what, I mean, we figured it was for Reno.
Well, it is for Reno, for qualification.
But I'm already asking my people to start taking
I think they
Mississippi
should.
Mud, because the sooner you catch especially wrong notes, you know, the easier it'll be for them to
I don't see a
undo
problem.
them. They sing
I
them
don't see
wrong
a
for
problem
6
with you asking your
months.
people to tape just from the risers, but do they know the songs well enough to tape them yet?
I got a million new
That's
people.
kind of why.
There's a lot of
Good
people
to
who
at
are
least
playing
have 'em turn
avoidance
one
with
in.
Girls' Night Out and Why Do Fools and, you know, little places
Even
that aren't
older-
right. and-
Even people who have been around a long time.
Girls'
Oh,
Night
yeah, I
Out
didn't
as
say
well.
new people.
There's wrong
Yeah,
notes there.
it's,
Well, we keep having these section rehearsals.
I know. When we go
They're
over it the
fine when
correct way and they
sing it
stand
in
on the
sections
riser
and
and
then
sing
you
it
stick
the
it
old
with
way.
what people they sing it the other way.
50 times.
Well, that's your responsibility. Have an extra night.
Part of the thing is that they have to be accountable for what they're doing. They work a little harder.
Come join the crossing, love is a life that's like monsters too. Let's bust a chord, a good old major chord, with some good growth harmony. Come on and join the fun, we'll bust a minor one, as we
The
would
sound lacks energy.
merrily. Let's sing it through again, and then we'll all chime in. It will make your heart feel alive.
She's got a good voice, but she didn't, she's not supporting the tone.
She probably doesn't like the song.
Well, as a result, it's there's no lilt to it. It's just laying
There
her
it
head.
is. Now we're even harder on the energized delivery.
Because she's got a really good voice. She's got nice lyrical quality. This is the opposite of Gail Anderson's voice in that she's got lots of texture and lots of personality in her voice. But what it is it's not supportive.
It sounds like she's standing back like this.
Yeah, like this.
Might have been.
Might have been. Used to sit on her and she ran out of air.
To the
change, I was gonna
When
say,
I
that's
first turned
something.
it on in the car, and it sounded the same in the car, I thought that most of the notes were sung so under that I thought maybe the tape batteries were low.
Oh,
It
no.
almost sounds like, it sounds real dark.
She's got
was
weight,
Nancy's voice.
she's got a lot of weight on her tone.
Yeah.
And I think if she took the weight off of the tone and
Heavy.
sung for
Just sounded
the
too dark.
overtones, if she would sing for the highs instead of singing for the lows, I think that it would.
Add some highs to your voice.
Well, she does need to add some highs to her voice.
I like that, those sing for the overtone.
And, but if you sing, just find a middle tone. You can all just sing that note, it's kind of in the middle. Now, make it a heavy voice, you can make it a heavy voice. Now if you just, all you have to do is sing, and while you're supporting that tone, think of the overtone. You took all the weight out of the voice. Did you hear it? Did you hear the overtone pop in? It was very dull, very heavy, but as soon as you thought of the overtone, or as soon as you started to sing with the highs, sing for the highs instead of for the lows, then it takes all the weight off. And it's something that you can do. What also you did was you lifted your soft palate, and you didn't even realize you were doing it. But some people don't understand when you say lift their soft palate, they go, huh, what?
And I'm the only person that feels this way, but I feel like whenever I try to force a big sound, or shut up, or a darker sound, or a rounder sound, if I try to force it, like Sue is doing, it feels like I'm pressing
Yes.
back in here.
Yeah, well, you are. What you're doing is you're
not up
throat
here, it's
singing, and
back,
you're not
yeah.
diaphragmatic singing. And so in that case, if you find that a person, if you're looking at them and you can see their veins popping out, or they're tensing up, or their jaws are locked, they've got this determined attitude. Yeah, really is. Yeah. Their face is getting red. An exercise that would really work for them is the burring exercise, because you can't do that and sing with tension. Yeah. So, is that where we were about? All right, sing heavy. Sing heavy. All right, now go. You know how different that is? Because it's supported. You're just supporting the tone with air. That's just air. That's air actually, and you can't do that if you're tense. And if you find there are people who cannot do it, I know in the class we were doing it the other day, and there were some of the people in the class who couldn't do it. Now, Mary Dick made me get on the ground and play like I was playing with a truck and go boom, like that. And that sometimes works because you can do that because you forget about what you're doing.
I can't
And
do
your
it
lips
real
are
well
hanging down.
myself either, and what works for me was in How to Train Singers. They tell you to try to blow through your fist. And all of this engages.
That's good too. I've also heard that if you just touch your fingers, right, to the sides of your mouth and go. Then sometimes that's easier to do too. It's sort of just, it reminds you just to relax everything. But we do that a lot in the class, and that's one of the best exercises you can do for breath support, for clarion pure tone, if there's cloudy tones. And with
used to make me do
I
that
don't
for
wanna
about
let out
5
that much
minutes
air.
warming up.
yes, oh, it's so good. Well, it hurts after a while. I mean, all of this.
What the burn?
Yeah.
I got a new one.
No, you'll have to.
Talk about burning.
Yeah. See, she could take a lot of that weight off of the voice, and that would be that would make her a better singer. That would improve her accuracy. She knows she's got a good enough ear and raise the pitch. She's also singing with people who are very smart ear singers, and they're tuning right down. So it's slick. That's slick because she's hard to catch unless you're sitting there with a pitch pipe to know that she's going right down. Yeah. Good lead. She's a soloist. She's doing a lot of solo work, but this is the kind of a soloist that needs a band behind her to keep her true. Yeah. Okay, good. Any others? Anybody bring any others? Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But this is probably average.
See, everybody's gone upstairs,
Tape.
by the way, if you want.
Okay, we'll see. Okay. Donna
This is
says this is
probably
about
a
average
typical
for
tape.
what she would get in the baritone section.
Takes her a few minutes to get into it.
Okay, any comments about this one? Sort of down.
I think she got a pretty good handle on head and chest.
She does have a good handle on head and chest. Yeah, this is a difficult song for baritone. It's not weak. In other words, by saying that she has a good handle on head and chest doesn't mean that she's not inaccurate. There are inaccuracies, but there's not a big gap. In other words,
You don't see the big jump.
right. It's got about the same volume level high as it does low, and so there's not.
It doesn't pull your ear.
She's right. You're not really sure when she's in head and chest.
You don't go,
That's
oh,
good.
there's your break.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Consistency of
Oh, dance,
Good consistency
dance,
of tone.
that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
There's just
Dance,
a at the
do
bottom.
they do? Lordy, I thought that was calling you.
Well, that's a little severe.
on
That's
this.
funny.
Severe,
Yeah.
yeah.
So she's got a pretty good handle on this.
Yeah, it is.
What?
Yeah, Holly had a good
Baritone.
cookie, good
Baritone's
consistency of
close to
tone.
cone.
She does have a good
Soft.
consistency of tone, and that would be a good thing to say.
Good consistency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what about
It's
coning?
support.
Were her highs too high? Was she above the lead a lot of those high places?
Part of it.
I don't. Yeah, and
It's hard to
I
say
don't know
in
part.
this context. Yeah.
Well, and especially when you're trying to make a tape for someone to listen to.
Yeah.
I mean, I find myself, I'm practically cramming the recorder down my
Yeah.
throat because, and you singing right into it like it's a
Right.
microphone. Well,
yeah,
because it is.
because it is, and you want to
And
be
then
heard.
you
don't
get this
want all the
distorted.
people to-
Yeah.
And then you
Yeah.
have people that stand by you and hold the tape right out here, so.
Yeah.
Or to their neighbor
Yeah.
because
She has the part.
well,
there.
in those cases, tell me about it. Can't be a fair judge, and you almost have to give the tape back and ask them to
You
focus
can
on
try
that.
I still
I
listening to
do.
Faith
Why
tonight,
would I
I can
stand
hear
by you?
myself in it, because she was sitting right next to me, and I can hear myself in her tape, and it's like, all right. We're fighting
Listen to
each
a
other.
little more. Let's see if we could, what one or two things we could say to this person to make her a better singer, to make her a better baritone. She's in the right part.
Yeah.
Her vowels are pretty good.
Yeah, that part.
She did that one, she pushed it. She seems to be pushing a little to me.
Especially in the upper ranges.
Yeah, yeah.
It's hard to know how much of that is me going, come on,
Yeah.
because I
Gasping for breath. Yeah, and I think she probably needs to take more breaths because it sounds like she's running out in areas, and maybe that's why she's pushing, because she's got to the end, it's for this.
got the hard parts.
I think I would say she's working really hard on, I think she could use more energy.
More energy behind it?
Because, I mean, she's consistent.
Yes.
But and it comes
Little
across
notes and
that
notes.
she's got energy, but not consistent.
Yeah, it borderlines some choppy in places too, but it's hard to know how much of that is just new. We haven't really talked about it yet.
And I
So,
think
you
this
have to
person
stay
might-
sensitive to where we are and where she is in the music.
It just seems to me that she's gasping for breath almost all the way through the whole thing.
Maybe
I think
she's
she's
not
nervous.
taking breaths that are meaningful.
Meaningful, yeah, because she runs out a
Also,
lot.
she may be not running out, and so
Stacking
she might be stacking it.
I'm not doing this, but when you're doing the tape, just to turn in the 100% notes and accuracy, you're not worried too much about energy.
That was another thing.
Whoa!
She's loud,
That
she's
one
got some
splatters.
volume.
Yeah, that one
Yeah.
splatters.
Another thing that you might want to listen for, or to do, since it's your voice part, is sing along with the person and try to match their voice so that maybe you can see what's happening there. I can tell a lot if I sing along with someone, and then I know where they're placing it, or if they're placing it here, or whatever, and then I can maybe say, when I sang along with your tape, I found myself singing very, forward or very back, and it might try lifting the inside, or, whatever you need to do to say, make it
The
work.
same places that she hears tight and pinched to me are the same places I sound tight and pinched on my tapes. It's where it gets right out of your range, and you're trying to seek that happy medium, and sometimes we're above the leads, and there's gotta be a lot of us there, and we
Well,
just
I
haven't quite
haven't
got a
noticed
handle on
anything
this
out of
song
tone at
yet,
this point.
you know.
So that for right now, the berries aren't popping out, and so
Good.
the leads must be doing their part. In other words, if you're high, the leads are just balancing the chord with the same, with the right amount of
I still
volume.
haven't figured out where the placement on a lot of the song is yet anyway.
Well, it does take a while.
Yeah.
It takes a long time. And I find that when I'm first learning a song, I have terrible breath support in it because I haven't learned
Thinking
yet.
too much.
It
Yeah.
doesn't
Where-
feel right yet.
Well, yeah, it's not placed yet.
She has lows in her voice, but to me, it sounded like, almost like Gail's voice, only in a different part. It just didn't have any color to it. It was like, it was different notes, but it was almost like a monotone
It's a
type
white
sound.
sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, we call it a white sound. But that was only a part, because see, I thought that in some of the places she was adding some
Yeah,
of that. I mean, I think she's capable of doing it.
She did it
I
in
don't-
spots like Close of Day. I would have said nice vocal texture on Close of Day.
Yeah,
Right.
good. Yeah, that's the kind of encouragement you want to give too, especially if they are doing some good things in there. Try to find a lot of good spots.
Listen back to yourself on measure 5.
Well, and
This
that's
is
something that they
great,
really
you
do
know.
need to do is listen to them after, because they may think, well, I think this tape was perfect, and listen back to it and say, oh, yes, they did really right.
But
You
you
know?
know,
You know how many
but
people
keep
have told
in
me they
mind-
don't ever listen to
I
it?
know,
I
yeah.
know, that's what's really aggravating.
Well, we can't make them do that. We can only give them the tools.
You have to,
and
Sit
the-
them
you
down
have
and
to
play.
encourage
Let's sit down and listen to this
again.
together.
Encourage them to listen to it again, and when they do something good, tell them, because that's what you build on.
If
You
you
can,
find something good later on in the tape,
Don't
tell them to
lie,
listen for it, then they'll go back and listen
Yeah,
to it.
or
Really?
rewind their, or
Oh,
leave a
yeah,
message on the end of their
great.
tape, critique on the end of the tape, rewind it, give it to them.
That's
And
how I
tell
do
them that-
Judy Rowland's,
Yeah.
because she likes to learn through listening instead
Well,
of
or
through,
through-
and I always did hers at the end.
Yeah, or play something that they're missing.
I've had people tell me that they don't want to listen to it because if they do, they'll quit singing.
Well,
That they don't like to, they don't like to
they're
listen to
lying.
themselves. Yeah, they don't
I
like
don't
to
think
listen
there's
to themselves.
anybody. I don't think there's anybody that doesn't like to listen to their own voice. I mean, they maybe not in front of people, but I bet that there aren't
But
very
that's how
many
you
people who
learn.
really don't like to listen. Most people like the sound of their own voice. That's their own personal thing. You think there's a lot of people who don't like the sound of their voice?
Oh, I'm so super critical of myself, is what
Well,
I'm
you can
thinking.
be super
and,
critical,
you know,
but you don't give up.
No.
No, I don't think so.
But the thing is that I never think that I sound like that whenever I hear it on the tape, because I don't
Well-
sound like that inside my head.
Yeah, I know.
You know,
And
we all
and we
that
don't
way.
sound the same
Yeah, no.
inside our
Right.
head as we do outside.
Linda made a good point, and it's true. Like you said, when you're first learning a song, you haven't yet learned how to support the finesse and all this thing. You're just learning notes and words. And those of us who like to get the tape made, get it, through the
Process.
through the process, you really are. You're just singing for notes and words and
That's
not
right.
Once
thinking
they're
about.
there-
That's all we're asking them to do
I
right
know,
now.
and that's what I'm saying. If you turn in your tape early before we've
Wouldn't it
worked
be fun
on.
if we could ask them to perform it for us, and then we'll critique it?
Yeah.
Yes.
It makes a difference.
It's embarrassing to say, but I sort of agree with Sarah, because when I'm taping, sometimes I don't sing out on purpose because I know I'm gonna run out of breath, and I don't wanna be embarrassed on my tape. I mean, maybe I'll run out of breath some anyway,
It's an
but
excellent point.
really,
We do
that
sing differently
people,
when
you
we're
really
taping.
shouldn't do that, really. I think you should sing like
Well,
you
Like you
are
say.
gonna sing in the
let
chorus,
it
you know.
happen.
Now
And
that
then go
we're
from there.
singing for vocal production help, I think that you'll put probably a little more into it when you sing on a tape recorder, because you'll realize that somebody's going to be listening to the vocal quality as well as the notes.
And
and
if
the
I run
words.
out of breath,
Oh yeah, that's
talk.
fine. But up until now, there
Take a
hasn't been.
It'll give them something to say.
Not a syllable.
There hasn't been any vocal production required.
And if some of this was premature, you know, there were some comments, and I know they talked about the things that I gave them, but I did what I had to work with, because I wanted to say something to them. You know,
Yes.
we said we were gonna do this, so I worked with what I had, you know, and maybe it'll be totally different next time. Who knows? And if it is, I'll say so.
Yeah.
Whose tape is this? This isn't you.
Sandy, I have a question.
Sure.
If we are going to consider and work on vocal production and texture and so forth, how are we going to do that with quality tapes? It's just not there.
No clue.
You'll have to do just the big, obvious bad things.
Yeah.
That's all. It won't be terribly
You'll be
refined.
limited to what you
Because
can
of the kind of recorder they're using, whether it's the little one
You
or
might suggest that they get, that, you know,
to borrow one
in
or
order to
find
really
some way to get a
take
better.
advantage of the educational opportunity here, you might want to record it in a better tape recorder.
So in other words, what you're saying is if you find that there's a person in your group that you would like to work with, work on one-on-one on that and find a way to
That's
either.
always better. One-on-one is always better because you can observe. You know, the problem with taping is that you don't know what they were doing. You don't know if they were sitting down because they were tired, or if they were standing off by themselves in the back
Then
of the
would
ride.
it be a good thing if you do that, then just to maybe work on one thing?
Well, I don't think you should
And don't dwell
hit too
on it,
much.
just help them, give them something to work with and let them go home and work on it, as opposed to
I give
giving
them
them
their
6
most
different
blatant
things.
problem and give them a way to fix it. I don't think that you should feel that you're going to be giving them a vocal lesson on a sheet. You know, that isn't what I would expect. It doesn't. I certainly didn't give that to Sue Singer. You know, I just gave her one
I
thing
would rather
to
work on
and
just
that's
one
relaxing
thing,
and to load.
and hopefully in a week or 2 weeks, if that's cleared up, that's one less
Yes.
thing. And it might get carried over
We'll all be
in
better
another
for
song,
it.
whatever.
And the next time they turn in a tape, then they you may be able to do, oh, you really got that part really good. I noticed that, or now, continue to work on this part. So,
Yeah, something else that we sometimes forget is sometimes these people get these tape recorders in front of them, and all of a sudden, it's like they're on stage with 1,000 people in front of them.
That is exactly what happens.
And there are many people.
I
like
might
get
as well
over it.
be naked with that tape recorder in front of me because
Please no.
I have never, you'll never get a tape from me that sounds like the way I sing
I
in
agree.
the chorus.
and that's probably true.
Because I turn to mush as soon as
That's
it's
why you
there.
can only get to the most,
Big stuff.
the most,
Yeah.
At least I can hear you now.
you know. There's really
I'm getting
no
better.
real way.
Well, eventually, as this progresses and as our people become more comfortable with the fact that we're going to talk with them and give them some positive strokes and give them some positive ways to improve their voice, they'll become more comfortable with the taping process. Hopefully.
Yeah. It seems really punitive to a lot of people if we could just get over that and convince them that, we really are trying to help them.
Yeah, well, and
Then
that's
that
why
will just solve a lot of
gentle-
problems. They'll take
gentle
more,
is good.
we'll get
And
better
I don't
tapes
think there's
from them.
anybody in this room that is beyond that either. I mean, I
I
think
don't
we should
either.
be very open to things that we can improve on.
And I'm always available. I would be happy to work with any of you at any point in time. I still have things that I go for help with. Dale Syverson has helped me in several occasions, and I'm lucky in that I can go to different regions and pick out people and say, there's this new song that we've got, and I'm having, Phantom. I needed a vocal lesson on Phantom, because it's my part to go, the Phantom of the Opera is there. That goes right through my break, right through my break. I mean, it couldn't be worse placed. And it was Dale that told me how to just kind of pull back the energy and then ease back, and almost think of it as a C. The Phantom of the Opera is there. So that I'm just kind of pulling back as I'm going through the break and then giving it the muscle again when I get through it. But she had to do it with me a whole bunch of times before I finally got into, be what it was supposed to be.
Saying it, thinking it, and feeling it are all
Yeah,
very
and then
different.
once you do, you go, oh yeah, of course, that makes all kinds of sense, and now it's easy. It seems easy, but nobody in this room is beyond getting help, and I still do it myself a lot.
One thing that's really neat though, that people, that if they don't try, they'll never know how neat it feels to get better.
Oh,
It feels so neat to do something somebody suggests and it works. And then you go back to this person that really didn't know what they were saying to you anyway and say, that really worked. Wow, it did?
Well, sometimes you get lucky. If you're having problems with people with breast support, one of the things that clicked into me, and there's always something that clicks into you, is while the person is singing, to create the illusion that their sides are going out toward the wall. So often we get this roll-up technique, or the pushing of the abdomen or the diaphragm up. But if we just think of a rib expansion out, and if you're actually sitting there and you're blowing out, go ahead and blow out. But create the illusion as you're exhaling that your ribs are expanding out. And what is happening is you're rolling it up. It works for you. And that was Dixie Dalkey who worked with me on that. And that was really the first time I got a good handle on breast support, because now when I'm running out of air in a phrase and I'm singing, I begin to think, okay, ribs, and it really does help me through it. So little tricks like that if it works for you, it'll work. Well, that's true. It gets your mind because a lot of it is just relaxation. And maybe
The
it's
head
just
games
taking,
we play.
it's just this whole thing
Yeah,
again, Why that works, I don't know,
Especially when
but it always does.
I have to take a really big breath here because I know I'm not gonna make it through this phrase about it. And then you realize, oh God, I didn't get a big enough breath. You may as well just be standing out there naked on the screen.
I know that Mary Dick tells a story that she was working with a student, she couldn't get her to go to reach for the highs that she was trying to reach for, and she had her just go like this, and just sing the song like that, just wave her hands, just like she was relaxed, and it just soared. And she said what it was just a diversionary tactic. It just got your mind. It's like, when you're going to address the ball, do you breathe in or breathe out when you go up? And well, if you think about it, you're going to screw it up every time, because you won't know, and you'll be concentrating on the technique. And so anything that diverts the attention away from the technique sometimes is really good at this.
The director of college used to make me pick up imaginary blocks and
Good.
put them on the wall.
Exactly.
Bend
See?
over and stand up and just sing.
Just let it happen, instead of trying to make it happen. We just need to let it happen.
I built a fort and I sang so high and I was
Yes! Isn't it amazing? Wow.
No, those
It
breast
works.
support things are really good, because
Oh,
I have two
yes.
people who really have problems with breast support. One in particular, who I used to stand near, and now I'm kind of sorry I don't, because I used to at least be able to watch her and tell her, oh, you need to do your breathing, But now I'm way on the other side of the riser.
Well, you'll have to do it by tape.
So yeah, it'll be tougher to do.
By
But
letter.
those are good things to know.
Yeah, it's just diversionary tactics. Okay, let's hear a tenor.
With my boy sitting right here in the city, don't you know that it was grand? Really grand, so grand, but then you came along, boy. Singing those songs, boy. Now, Mr. What you doing tonight? Hope you're in the mood because you're feeling just right. House about a corner with a table for two, where the music's mellow and some gay rendezvous. There's no chance of dancing with a blue attitude. You've got to do some dancing to get in the mood. Sister, what you call them all?
This is a good example of those songs where when you know you're taping for note and word accuracy, it's probably not at all lyrical like you would have done it in real life.
My heart is full of rhythm and I'm in the mood. In the mood for what he told me. In the mood, and when he told me in the mood, I was given. It didn't take me long to say I'm in the mood now. In the mood.
Is this person in the right voice part?
In the mood.
She was a baritone for a long, long time.
Wasn't it? It didn't take me long to say I'm in the mood now. Ba-ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-ba.
the inflection tells you
taking
something
good
else.
quality breath.
What does noisy inhalation tell you?
That your tents are tight through here.
It's not open.
Yeah, your throat is open all the way.
You're afraid you're not gonna get enough usually.
She's got a lot of accuracy, note accuracy.
Wow. That's right on.
Yeah, she was tenor section leader for a while. She's one of those, now, just on the basis of this tape, she's one that I probably would have asked to put a little personality in it, more lyrical. But again, when we create these tapes, we were just, they were, like, just notes, words, robot-like, and that's exactly what we get. And that's why I hate taping on the, when we're getting close to a performance, because it's very technical. And hopefully what we'll get to the point, especially if we're asking the chorus to sing with vocal production, because that's going to be graded too, hopefully we'll begin to feel some of that personality coming through even on taping sessions. Wouldn't that be cool? I might even want to tape more often. Whoa!
We get that, yeah.
Maybe it'll be better the nights we do tape.
Good. That was a good example.
Oh, that's good.
Got another one in there? Oh, the label is sticking to my label here.
I also have like the last night's audition tape.
Oh, yes. Can I have that one?
I
Is
got
that
one of
it?
those
This
too.
is it? Okay, good. This is one that passed? Okay, so we won't have to worry about notes and words. But this is a virgin.
How do you know?
These are so great to get, because these are people who are so pliable. New people are so pliable. They just want to do whatever you tell them. They're so excited. They haven't gotten the ego yet that we all get later after being seasoned in this. They're still very open to any suggestion, and so we'll listen to this and see what we got here. This is a new person that just, who is this? Sheila. This is Sheila. She's just passed away.
She was so nervous.
Yeah. Yes.
I couldn't hear this one song on the tape, but she was worried about one note.
Sing a song to your neighbor. She'll start humming along. Sing a song to a
She's the one that I picked out of the class.
No.
Soon she'll join in the song.
To that vibrato, vibrato in there. Might want to talk to her about a little bit of vibrato. In the tenor section, a vibrato can be pretty deadly for the ring of the chorus.
Start humming along.
What's nerves and what's vibrato? I don't know. I wasn't there.
She's flat.
Hear that vibrato?
She was real nervous. She sang consistently with it, I thought, though.
She's got that lyrical quality, though. She's got the lyrical quality, though, that we were hoping that we could teach Pat McLean how to do in the learning tape, or in the tape. See, she's got that nice, full lyrical quality. She's really singing the lyrics. She's not singing the notes. Vibrato, yeah, that was vibrato. I think that was Bonnie, though. I think that was Janet.
Tenor's doing it too.
She didn't have it that time.
Trouble tuning to was
Yes, it is.
She's running out of breath. She has more
Yes.
vibrato.
Yeah, well, that's what happens. Taking vibrato out, you have to have increased support. Yeah.
If she's the only tenor in that class, she's the one that asked me the night I was down here when we just started talking about doing their audition tapes about vibrato. And I explained, the frequencies, and they don't mesh, and you can't lock and get an overtone, blah, 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 the whole can't talk. Yeah, and she said, oh, okay, so then you want us to control that. And I said, Yeah, you should sing free enough that the presence is always there, but you just don't use it.
Right.
You know.
That's good.
That's
warm,
what David,
the
that's
color is
David,
there.
the David Wright.
Yeah.
David Wrightism.
Yeah.
Well, and singing with
But
a
so
lead
she
that has
was
a lot of
already aware
vibrato.
she had some vibrato, but I promised
have
her
to
we would
worry
know
about
the
that a
difference
lot.
between nervous tremolo
Yes.
and vibrato.
Yeah, and I wasn't there to see the
So she was real
face
nervous, that sounds
pictured in
like.
the terror.
She was.
Well, she did an excellent job of being so nervous. That's great. Okay, let's do this one. Do you guys need a stretch break or something? Or you've been sitting here for a long, long time. All right, I'll tell you what we'll do.
I'll stay up and listen to this one.
Okay. What we'll do is we'll talk about this one more, then we'll take a quick break, and then I want to do some vocal production just right here. We'll just work on each other a little bit. Okay? All right, let's listen to one last one. This is an audition? Okay, did she pass? This was a practice?
No, this is not a practice.
This is a for real, okay, fine.
Sing a song to your neighbor, she'll start humming along. Sing a song to a stranger, soon she'll join in the song. Music spreads harmony throughout the land. Joyful notes in a chord.
Okay, I want to stop it right here because despite the flaws in the notes and the words, this person has a really good quality of singing. I mean, she's singing with a lot of clarion sounds, and you can hear it in the way when chords lock, they ring. She's doing baritone. I mean, she's doing baritone-like things. Well, there is. And this is a person that probably has never done any group ensemble singing before, and maybe isn't going to work. I mean, maybe it just isn't because baritone is a very difficult part, and this is a very difficult song. But I mean, the only thing you could tell this person at this point is the notes and words. I mean, keep working on notes and words. I mean, notes and words is number one. You know, after that, we can work on the quality. She's got some good things, and I want to play the rest. I haven't heard this before, but listen for the quality. Get your ear away from the obvious no clue where she is. She's clueless sometimes. I mean, she gets
Well,
lost.
sometimes she's got the right pattern of notes, but she's like a step and a half
Well,
below where she's
she
supposed to be,
hasn't
and so the
found
whole
it.
pattern
See,
is that
when
low.
they first come in, you blow the pitch and they look at you and they go,
And this one
so.
was so
Yeah.
Where they relate to
Is
that
she?
pitch.
Oh,
Yeah,
she was
there's
so
no
scared.
clue. So what
She
she
was
hasn't
crawling
been
into
able to
herself
do
as she's saying. You could
is
see
make
her
a
do it.
mistake and get back into it again, and that will come in time. But as far as vocal quality, this person has a really nice voice.
Sing out and bring out your voice louder and loud.
It gets close and stops,
Harmonize the words with a song. Harmonize the
Got the last note.
The last note.
Okay, she's memorizing
Yeah.
what she's doing, and what she needs to learn to do is to listen with her ear and trust her ear a little bit, because right now she's just memorized pattern.
Yeah. Which
You
she
know,
could
up,
tell
down,
in that
up,
one
down.
spot. I said she had to
Yeah.
spot her for that one spot, so
But
she
right
got
here,
off
both
on it,
just
and the
in the
whole
wrong
thing was
key.
gone. Yeah.
This voice has a lot of hope. I mean, there's a lot of promise in this voice, and it's not one that I would throw to the wolves.
She
You know,
just needs to keep working on it.
she really does, and it may take her a little while, a little longer than others, depending on her determination to
gonna
be in
talk
this
to her?
chorus.
So this doesn't mean that she doesn't have a, like, maybe a real good ear?
No.
She can't know?
No, it doesn't mean that. She doesn't fit, I don't think she knows how to fit into the chord.
Which
Gotta fit her
means if
part
she
into
can't
the
work
chord,
on that.
you
I mean,
know?
if she can't find
She
it the
said
next month,
that
then
she
maybe
said
that's
she
a
could
lady.
sing it at home, but she
Yeah,
could
get 'em
sing
all.
it. It's really hard.
But I had a lot of people say they could sing it at home, and then when they got with the group, it was like they were nowhere even close. So, I mean, you don't know whether you can't, you don't know whether they were singing with it or not.
The baritone city lights. It's a city lights.
Every day is just a day like one.
She's got that personality.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah. They're pretty awesome.
Something so much more if you keep on believing that the difference can be you. Just open up your loving heart and here's the way that you can start now. Put your hands together, let the
Sounds like she could sing lead if she wanted to as well.
What's that?
She's singing baritone like a lead, yeah.
Oh, yes. She could probably
Very
sing
lyrical.
Yeah.
It's amazing, you'd be surprised the number of baritones that are in these top 10 quartets and leads for years. Yeah.
I started as a lead.
You started as
No, she was lead section leader when I joined the chorus.
10 years. You were leading.
A lot of the success of the song that was sung at Cornet Club last year, this was a song that was Reedy wrote. And we sounded like that because this is what we had for a guide, and this is how we learned to sing it. So a lot of how our chorus learns the music is directly related to what the learning tape sounds like. If our learning tape doesn't have the vocal quality that we want them to sound like, then how can we expect them to put it in their tape and sing it over and over and over and over? So it all starts with you, and especially those 8 of you who are doing learning tapes, and give the chorus as many tools, as many correct tools to work with, so that when you're singing it, you're not just singing notes and words, you're singing personality, and you're putting diaphragm behind it.
Barbara Streisand, of course, in the studio, I always thought, like, you know,
It's just a good voice. I'm not yelling.
I'm gonna stand in back of you.
I can't get that.
Susie had sang baritone when we first started in 1974,
Not very long.
and then she went to tenor for a long time.
Long time.
Now, how long have you been singing lead?
3 years, 4 years. But I was out 3 years.
Oh, right.
Oh, all right. Make your voice sound like mine. Now I want you to be real conscious of what it feels like inside when you're singing with me, because you've got it.
Takes breast support.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it takes more the other way.
I do too.
What? What's
We'll
the
get
other
there.
way?
Depends
Oh,
on
the
how
singing.
When you
Right.
first
Yeah.
started, you sounded like you were singing all head tone, and to me, that's more air singing low in head tone than it is
That's
going the other way.
comfortable.
What we did was
Oh,
we
that's-
added
that's
you the other way.
Yeah.
so much
Yeah.
weight,
Yeah.
we flatted
I'm
it.
with
We
you,
flattened
Susie.
it. We added too much
Yeah.
weight, we flattened the note. Alright, now I want you to go up a whole octave. And just sing it the way you normally sing. There you go. You've got now. There you go. See, it cleared up. You added a little support to it. That's your head voice way up there. Oh, this is your chest voice, and this is your head voice, and we're gonna mix it as we go up. Oops, sorry. Oh, we're gonna sing it together on la. La, la. Now at that G where we are right now, we should be half head and half chest.
I've heard my break at, on the
Right
third
in there.
one.
Yeah. Okay. We're gonna mix it in a little bit earlier.
We know, yeah, you're all right. We won't make
Might not
fun
give you
of
a
you.
different look at us. They go the A's to the
La, we're gonna go back up again. La, take a breath. Got a nice strong head voice, you really do.
You have a really good
It's so hard. It's so hard.
Worked on it so hard.
break is what we're doing right now. We're gonna try to loosen that voice up just a little bit so that it feels comfortable singing through the brain. Now, when I'm working with people, I like to work with them because what I'm doing is watching, I'm observing, but I'm also trying to feel what they're feeling. I'm trying to crawl right inside their voice and feeling what they're feeling so that maybe I can explain to them exactly what it is that might be happening.
And it helps to relax them because they're not singing by
Yes,
themselves.
I don't like to be feeling like I'm all by myself, no.
In the morning.
When you started out on your pitch,
Or at night.
when you went up, I watched your thing, you started going.
Well,
It was,
that's
it was
what's
neat,
supposed to
but it was
happen.
visible to, yeah.
But see, I could do this just like this, but then when you sing the song.
Well, it's the same, it's,
I know.
No, it's one of these.
Yeah, yeah.
unflex your knees, flex your knees so that they're not tight, okay? Let's go backwards, let's go E-A-E. Now, did you feel the different, what was different about the E-A-E and the A-A? Do it again. Where are you feeling that? You're feeling it
That
kind
was
of
back
right,
there.
okay?
That's so good.
Feel it here. Sing it right to your face. If you put your hand right in front of your nose, sing right to it. Yeah. That's it. That's it. That's a strong sound up there. You've got good head voice. All right, let's work it down. Let's work that chest voice. Go into an ah. She's got a good head voice. She just don't have a strong voice. That's all. And that comes with breath support. Go over like this, like you're in a huddle position. But actually, yeah, support it. We don't want you to cave everything in here. And we're gonna keep your feet far enough apart so that you've got a good posture base. Do that with me. Do you feel the support happening right here? Do you feel the muscles working? You should be able to feel the diaphragm.
A lot freer up
Yeah,
here.
well it is. It's freer up, but because we're not touching.
I wasn't thinking about
All right,
this, but
be
maybe
conscious
I
of what your diaphragm's doing. Ready? Oh, let's go backwards. Let's go.
Maybe I should.
Let's go from down to top. You feel your diaphragm moving around in there? And you feel how it kind of moves. It sucks in a lot when you go up to the high because it takes more diaphragm.
I didn't put you on there?
And then it just sort of relaxes
Put
again
you-
when
put
come
you on
back
there.
down. Well, that's what happens when
Oh,
you're
okay.
when you're singing your chest voice. You can
You got up and
you
left. I was
push
right
into your
behind you.
highs and you relax down into your lows. And so, that's
Somebody
actually
else
what's
too?
happening in there.
I think it's,
You.
get nervous and you're singing a song, and I try to,
Carol.
from my chest voice to my head voice, it'll just thin out and fizzle out, it's just,
You might
I guess
think
it's
more
support.
opera. You might, when you sing, you might
Yeah,
just
it
be
does help
conscious
me to
of
do that,
of
that we
an
do in the
opera
chorus.
sound for you, in order to make your voice fuller. And if you find that you're getting little girlish, just think mature and think fatter. It's a
Because you're a
fat
woman.
sound.
W-O-M-A.
Did you all hear a difference in the sound at all? I mean, I'm singing along, so it's hard for me to tell.
It was hard because your ears was kind of loud. Strong, I should say.
Yeah.
Strong, developed, mature. Come on, help me out here, folks.
Her sound changed. Her sound changed.
If I sang softer, Susie might sing with less support.
Yeah. It was hard to tell then.
Well, it isn't for an audience. audience anyway.
Right.
It was for Susie, and if
Right.
she felt a difference, or if she felt. What I'd like to do with you sometimes, Susie, is isolate a part in the song, and then come after rehearsal, and I'll be happy to work with you through it.
Okay.
Because sometimes if you can apply it to a particular place in the song, it's a lot easier
Yeah.
than just
Yeah.
Pick any
articulate
spot,
it.
right?
I'll find several
Yeah,
spots.
pick any spot, yeah.
I mean, I can
That's
go,
how I feel about this one, too.
la, 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 but I could go, Phantom of the, it was just a horrible vowel up there, and then to be able to breathe. Oh, right over the break. Ugh, hated that part. Anybody else? You have to what?
Stop listening to country western.
Well, the country western sound just depends on who you're singing with. The Lori,
Blonde that lost her husband.
she's wonderful.
Not Anders.
No. She sang the.
No, that's who I'm thinking
I'm
of her.
looking for something in
She's got
red. That one.
short blonde
I
hair.
can't remember her name.
Blonde hair.
Yeah.
She just lost her husband a couple
She's
years ago. to
excellent.
drugs.
Yes.
Excellent example of country singing. I mean, it doesn't all have to be belt, but most country singers carry their chest voice up so high that you get tired just listening to it, kinda. Do you know that when you're listening to music, your vocal cords are actually moving?
Yes.
You really are doing that? Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
You're actually
Yeah.
moving your vocal cords. Your vocal,
You're working
because
them.
you're singers and you're so used to. I mean, at any point in the song, you could just get there, break into it, because your vocal cords are going up and down. I mean, probably not to the accuracy or to the degree that they would if you were actually singing or phonating. But it really is kind of interesting. They've done a lot of theories of people just looking at their vocal cords